Okay, so I wanted to record a quick video for you to run through the actual daily questions because you may have got, also Rita is bringing you her calm, planning the day energy. So you have got your initial investigative questions to really dive into who you are, who your future self is, and how you're going to take decisions from that place. But we want to have a fast way to do this each day. Okay, so I'm just going to close the community as always, so we don't get little pings while I do this. And essentially, what I like to do is to have this. Okay, so I'm going to make you a copy of this. You'll have it in Notion. But really, the point is to have these questions, okay, and to just give yourself a couple of minutes to go through them at the start of the day. Now, the reason we do this is the first step of the coaching model is creating space, okay? And very often people think that creating space is like physical space or, and it can be, right? It absolutely can be. One of the ways to work in flow and tell your brain you're about to work in flow is to just clear the space in front of you. Another way we can do this is literally with language. So when we travel to our future selves and we just take a moment to think about, okay, at the end of the day, what do I want to have created? What have I created already? Okay, we're putting that space there. We're creating that distance where it might be that you're about to take the decision to cut your meeting shorter by 10 minutes during the day. That's something that I do. I'll look at my calendar and I'll think about, okay, how am I going to feel about this? How is future me going to feel at 6 p.m. today if I don't put some space into my day? And then I've got the opportunity now to just email people, message them and say, look, I've overscheduled myself. Can we do this call on Thursday? Or actually, could this be an email or something instead? Okay, so we're creating that space using language, using our minds to visualize the day ahead. So on here, what you'll see is I haven't really given it a name. Let's call it like the flow and glow triangle. What I like to do here is have three goals at any one time, which are supporting the main goal. So this box here is where you want to put your starlight goal. This is your main focus. It's the thing that you really want to achieve. It might be something connected to your professional goals. It might be wanting to move to another city. I had Project Croissant in here, right? So November, December, January 2023 to 2024 was all about getting to France. I just had a little snapshot of a vision, which was me going to buy a croissant, and it was at the boulangerie that I actually used to visit in Normandy when I lived there, but I imagined it in the south of France, right? It didn't even exist. Doesn't matter. It's just like your North Star to check in with. And then we have a mind goal. So right now, for me, this is to get to upper intermediate French in the next 8 weeks. Okay. So if you're on the next call, that's why. Then we have a body goal. This was yoga for me previously. Yoga and my yoga practice now, it just happens automatically, right? I don't need to think about it. It's just there. It's like cleaning my teeth. So body right now is working on a healing practice for Rita. It's her body. It's getting her feeling comfortable and confident in the city centre, in the village, like anywhere at all. And then purpose. Now, purpose, for me, it's a business goal. For one of our Life Atelier members, it's about creating a dance routine to do a performance in London. She does burlesque, she does this beautiful dance. For another of our members, it's about moving to Paris. So your purpose can sound like a heavy word, but I like it just because it groups in whether it's professional goals or business goals or community goals or activism goals. It just gives us something that we're focusing our brain on outside of these balance goals, okay? So we just put this up here so we can check in. It's like having your post-it note. Now, once I've put these here and written them, just to remind myself, okay, this is our like general direction. Here I've got your thought download or Otter transcript. Now, you may prefer to journal, you might like to write things out. I love to use the application Otter and I talk to it. It's a transcription app, so I'm not just talking to myself. If I'm driving, I love to just set it going in the car and then I'll just talk through and I'll say everything that's in my head. And I'll go through these questions myself when I'm in the car. Sometimes I'll just walk around the apartment and it's like we're sending voice notes. And it's just a really great way to just notice what is on your mind. Like, where are the distractions? Where are you feeling not good, not confident? Okay. Now, the next little gap here, these are for the 3 words to describe your future self. Okay. So the 3 words that I use for my future self, I have pulled them out of the future self exercise that you have got a link to. And they are the words that are my goal for all the Life Atelier members. It is powerful, playful, and unstoppable. Because for me, those 3 things, when I connect with those words, it helps me to not go into hustle mode, right? Because the unstoppable and the powerful, you might think like, I have to push, I have to do all these things. But actually, playful brings us back out of that. Playful brings us back into creativity. And playful is the fuel for that unstoppable and for that powerful as well. Okay. Now, before these questions, I like to come over here to this box. Okay. And this is an extra step. I actually got this from my friend and colleague, Bridget, who we coach each other every Sunday. We do like coach to coach coaching, coach to coach coaching. And she just takes a second to visualize the end of the day. And this is something I used to skip over. And it's very important because if you're like me and your natural tendency is just to like go, 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 then just pausing and thinking about, okay, what will success look like at the end of the day? Like when I finish working, whether that's 3 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m., whatever it is, however you work, how will I know I achieved my results today? How will I know today was a successful day? And that can help pull us out of like just adding 20,000 things to our list. And it can give us like, okay, this one thing, I will know I've done a good job. I will be happy if I've experimented and played with trying to achieve this. And then the belief gap, right? And to identify the belief gap, we can just say out loud, let's say that you have your own business and your goal is to make a sale today, or maybe you want to get a podcast interview, or maybe you want to do exercise, right? Like so many people in my community, they want to go to the gym or they want to go to the yoga studio or to run or whatever. And every day they get to the end of the day and they're like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it again. And each time that you're saying, like, I didn't do it, you're building strength in this story that you are someone who doesn't do it. Whereas if we know, like, okay, there's a really big belief gap here, I don't actually, when I say it out loud, I actually don't think I can do this, then we can get curious. Why is that? Is it because I'm already tired at the end of the day? Is it because I'm so tired that when I set my alarm early, I'm just not waking up? Am I setting myself up to fail? So it just gives us a moment. If you think about like starting your car, it's just like, oh, okay, I can turn the steering wheel, I can change things a little bit, and I can like set myself up for success just a little microsecond more. And now we get to the questions, right? And again, like you can just jump to these. If you know exactly what it is that you want to achieve, you feel good, you're like, yes, I've got my 3 words, you can just jump to these 3 questions. But I like to have these here just to keep us rebalancing and coming back to what the priority is, okay? So the first question is, what's already working? Now, I love this question because, again, our brains have they have their own agenda, right? And it's a different agenda to you. Your brain's agenda is not to keep you happy. Your brain's agenda is to keep you alive. So it doesn't want you doing new things. It doesn't want you doing things that cost energy, which is new things. And it doesn't want you doing things that might like get you killed, okay, or get you kicked out of your social group. These are risky things, so no change, right? So often it will throw things at you, and this used to happen to me. I would start project after project after project. That's why I have made this commitment to not create any new material or any new content until I've been through everything I've created in the last 3 years, because that is so much, because my brain was just constantly creating new things for the person in front of me and not noticing what I've already created. And this would literally come up. I would get coaching from my coach, Vicky, and every week I would set this goal and I was like, well, I don't think I can achieve it. It's a really big goal. And after being coached for a few minutes, usually I'd already achieved the goal. And one example of that is I wanted to have like 200 members in my membership, and I already had 250, right? I already had them, but I hadn't even paused to notice. So when we pause and we ask that question, what's already working, whether it's about our relationships, whether it's about our business goals, our personal goals, it really helps us to get back into, oh, wait, I'm in control of this, right? Life isn't just happening to me. I can take decisions. I have agency, which is really important. Then the question number two is, how can I help it to work more? Okay. Now, how can I help it to work more? This is then going to be our action step. And it might be that this tells you, okay, I need to let go of some things. I need to say no to some projects to create more space around what it is that I'm creating. Or it might be, okay, I need to talk to more people. I need to be more visible. I need to, whatever it is, this will be your doing, right? But it also might be a being question or a being answer. And a being answer for me very often is, how can I help it to work more? I can slow down more, right? I can intentionally, I can intentionally, instead of working in the evening, and this is something that for me, it's still sometimes quite hard. I get that like hook of like, this is working, this is great. I'm going to work tonight, just tonight. I'm just going to work tonight. But actually, my power comes from slowing down. So the more I slow down, the more I'm able to see what's already working, the more I'm able to let it just do its thing instead of interfering and tweaking and changing things, right? And it is very much like for British people, putting a Yorkshire pudding in the oven or a souffle, if you're a souffle person, and then you don't open the oven. Because if you open the oven, it's fucked. All the air is going to come out and you have to start again. You have a flat souffle, right? So there is a real like discipline and skill in just letting it go. So very often for me, that how can I help it to work more? It's not a doing thing, it's a not doing thing. So just be conscious of that. And then number three, what does future me need me to do? And again, as we mentioned at the start, this might be she needs me to take some things off my calendar, or she needs me to make this phone call that I've been avoiding, or she needs me to take responsibility. Something that I think about, like if you're someone who's dating, or if you've got clients that they're a bit draining, they don't feel great. Do you need to cut that emotional contact to then make space for the thing that you really want, right? Will you take that discomfort and that pain today for the thing that you really want in the future? Okay. So this is it basically. I'm going to try and make you a digital copy of this, or maybe I'll just put a photograph and you can print it. And if you're not already inside the Life Atelier, there is a free community. It's on the platform. Normally I'm like that I have built, but it's not working very well at the moment, so I don't feel so proud of it. But anyway, we have got a free part. You can join with the Zoom link, super easy. Every day this week, except Wednesday, because Wednesdays do whatever the fuck I like day. I'm going to be on at 8 a.m. Paris, doing these journaling questions myself, planning my day myself with this, and you can join us. And we're also doing, for those of you learning a language, we are doing the daily 3, which is the Life Atelier language ritual, which is also super fun. So post your questions for me.